Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is I'm gonna put a lot of information in this post, but I want to appreciate the fact that we now have 61 subscribers. Period. Um, it just feels good that's confirmation. It just feels so good that I can, give y'all behind the scenes of my life and share with y'all my experiences. And the reward in that is that it helped other people. Right? So I'm going to share with y'all several near death experiences that I've had and how I knew I was chosen. Right? So the thumbnail, nah, come on now. Spirit, clear the throat chakra now. Clear my mind chakra. Clear my heart chakra. Clear my base chakra. I ain't gonna tell y'all the last little video I tried to post. I felt the karmic energy. And that was the first dislike that I got on one of my videos. I'm like, and karmic, and we still gonna be prosperous with or without your little toxic ass energy. I'm talking about try to pixelate the video up and all. And I try to get her a little 5 seconds of fame. But anywho, back to the subject at hand. So the thumbnail in the on this particular live video is, if y'all saw the golden child, when the devil had kidnapped the child and had the child in like this cage, and Eddie Murphy was like joking with the devil, playing with the devil the whole time before like allowing the child to escape. And so I felt like the devil been on my ass for a long motherfucking time. Okay. And ain't shit scared about me. So the first experience, y'all, my father got my mother pregnant when she was 17, right? So my grandfather was so upset. Lou, he was so upset, Lord, when I tell you, he was heartbroken. And so he told her to get an abortion, right? I've never had an abortion. Can't tell you what it feel like, but I know it takes an emotional toll on people, right? So, and physical. So she was 5 months pregnant with me. And at 5 months, I got a heartbeat, I got eyes, a big old head. I'm talking about the whole package. I'm already good and developed. Waiting a couple more months until I sprang out here into the world, right? So he tried to make her get an abortion when she was 5 months pregnant with me. He gave her the money and all. So the appointment was set. She was sitting in the waiting room. And this is just, that's confirmation. This was just based off of what she told me. She was like, she was scared, terrified, nervous, all of the above. Like, she was hesitating if she was doing the right thing or not. So I don't know if it was hours or minutes before they called her name. God told her to get up and leave. And her conscience was weighing on her, so she left, right? So I'm like, damn, like, I'm so grateful that my damn mama listened to God, because your girl wouldn't have been here. You feel me? So it was like the devil was on my head for a long time, right? So I just thank God that He waited on her spirit, on her heart, to not abort me. You feel me? Because my kids wouldn't be here. Like the lives that I'm changing and helping, I wouldn't have been able to do that. You feel me? So okay, the second experience was she felt like he judged her because she didn't get the abortion. So she moved away from him, right? So the first place that we lived when she was on her own was in the projects. And I ain't gonna tell y'all what projects it was, but the address was 2502, right? So two, if you break that down, 2 and 5 is 7, plus 2 is 9. 9 is my life path number, right? So we lived there for a few years, like I was like a toddler. And my mom, she ended up like meeting this guy, right? And real cool dude, real cool. Like he was a dope boy. You feel me? He had it, and he caught her eye. You feel me? They linked up. She was like skeptical at first, but he eventually grew on her because she quiet, homebody, stay to herself. So you know how when I don't know if y'all know, but when you live in the hood of the projects and you a baddie and everybody wants you, and then somebody who not from your area bag the chick, and they start getting jealous and just start hating on the man for no reason because that's his chick. So he ended up beefing with the guys, right? And they ended up having a shootout. I'm like speeding time up. They had a shootout. So my god sister, who is no longer living, um, rest in peace. She walked me to the store so that we can get like our little snacks and stuff like that. And so when we came back from the store, they was having a shootout, but it was like you know how bushes are like hedges where they like up against the wall and all that. So and then the apartments, they were brick apartments, so they couldn't get him. So they wanted to retaliate and they started shooting at us because they knew who I was and that was my mom and that he was tied to her. So they like, oh, okay, we can't get her. I mean, we can't get him. We gonna get her. And so I sat down and I was like, I had my head down. I had my head covered. And it was just like I just kept hearing bullets flying, like hitting the wall and like piercing through people windows and all kind of stuff. They even shot in my bedroom window. And I remember like yesterday because I had a Pocahontas bedroom set, right? So I'm like, you know that was my mom wake up call, and she wanted to like immediately move out from that area. And my heart was racing. I could have got hit. She could have got hit. It was just like a sticky situation where they were heartless as people. They didn't give a damn. They like, oh, we gon' make sure he feel this shit. So moving forward, we moved out the hood, and every time we move, my mom always made sure she moved somewhere better than the place before, better than the place before. She always made sure it felt like a home, not just a house. You feel me? So because she was a single parent, she worked for the state. I had to go in after school program because I grew up without my dad. The times where he was around, it was like it was when I would go back, you know, to my original hometown and see him. Like we would go and see him. Sometimes he came and saw me, but it wasn't that often, like as it should have been. So I went to this after school program where it was like a park next to my school. So I tried to make my mom life easier by, learning how to do my own hair. I was learning how to dress myself. Um, I learned how to swim, so that it just made life smoother if I felt like I would become the more I became independent for her, the easier it was for her to be a parent for me and to be a provider for me. So this particular day we was having swimming lessons. I was already a pro. So it was kids that gradually keep coming in every couple of weeks or whatever in the summer where they need to learn how to swim. So it was this particular boy who he was like overweight, right? So I don't know what made Jit, if you don't know how to swim, you ain't got no damn business cannonballing in no pool. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. But anyway, he decides to cannonball in the pool, and I was like a little small petite little thing, so he jumped right on top of me. Little old me. I'm at the even though it was a lifeguard there, they couldn't see me because there was so much splashing going on in the pool to where they didn't see me up under him, and he was like a heavy set jit. So he on top of me. I'm talking about he's sitting on top of me, right? So I'm just getting further and further down into the water. Mind you, we in like I feel like it was like 6 feet or 5 feet or something like that. So I feel like it was 6 feet. So it wasn't until I was about to take my last breath and I saw my body damn near astro travel outside of my physical body. I saw my spirit astro travel outside of my physical body. And it was like, nah, this ain't the time right here to be dying, right? So I don't know if it was because my adrenaline was rushing, maybe that's what it was, but my spirit got back in my body. And on my last breath, I had just enough strength to push him off of me and swim back up to the top, right? So I'm like, what is going on? Like, damn, it got to be something as to why this shit keep happening to me, right? So, um, the next experience, yeah, I had to write this shit down. The next experience was the fact that I've been in so many car accidents, right? Where 9 times out of 10, it was the other person's fault. So if I'm in the car with my mom, or if I was in the car with my grandma, my great grandma, like when I was in the car with my great grandma, we were traveling on the road and a deer just come out of nowhere and boom, hit the car. Broad daylight. No, it wasn't broad daylight. Yes, it was. It was broad daylight, but it was like we was in the country on a country road, and the car was totaled. Another time, like my mom, she lost control of the car because it was like raining real, real bad where we couldn't see the road, and we coming down a hill, right? She take her hand off the wheel. You know how when you in a car with your parent and they hold you like this, she take her hand off the wheel and she do this, and we just slid into the back of somebody's vehicle, and we didn't even know a vehicle was there because the rain was so it was so bad to where it like we was shocked. We was in shock. Like I couldn't even speak for like a whole hour until I got myself together, right? Outside of several other car accidents that was like tragic, and we survived. So I'm like, what's tea? Another experience that happened was I was visiting my homegirl, right? I have two boys, she has three. And she lived in the hood. thank the Lord now that He moves her from out the hood. But we were like getting the kids ready for bed, and all of a sudden we hear like, so we ducking. We like, oh shit, what's going on? What's the problem? Like, I feel the pressure. Like, who beefing with who? And they were like, the bullets was flying, grazing off of the apartments, and it could have easily pierced through the wall and hit any of us. And we just, baby, the power of prayer. Let me tell you, it just was not our time. Right. So another experience I've had is when I was working full time in the medical field. My oldest son, he was in school, but he still had to be in before and after school care, because with my work schedule, I wouldn't have made it in time to get him without getting like fined for picking him up late. So I had him in after school and before school program so that I can get to work on time. And then my baby, my youngest son, he was in childcare. And so I was like, I was not happy at that point in my life. This was like after my kid's father was murdered, and I was doing everything on my own. I wasn't sleeping, I was barely eating, and then where I lived, I had to take the interstate to get to work. And then I would get up at like 5 in the morning, get the kids ready, get them in the vehicle, take them to childcare and to school, get to work, work 8 hours in the medical field, get off work, fight 5 o'clock traffic, pick them up, and then drive another hour to get home. Y'all tell me why one time I fell asleep behind the wheel, Lord. Didn't even know it. But it wasn't that long. It was like long enough for me to fall asleep. And when I woke up, I'm still driving the damn vehicle. Like the shit ain't like I didn't do anything that would indicate that I was asleep behind the wheel. When I tell you, Spirit, God had to been steering that damn wheel, baby, because that ain't no shit. A lot of people die from that. That's not nothing that I can't even explain to you outside of God had hands on me, right? And so the last thing was, I was dealing with a guy, and I don't know if he had like he has I don't know if he agreed with the plan that this person had for me, but somebody was seeking death on me by doing like spell work. And how I knew that somebody was doing spell work on me is because I would wake up in the middle of the night and just like early as hell in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning, those are paranormal activity hours. I would wake up and like my eye would be puffy, like either like one of them would be puffy. I would have like a cut on my hand or on my thigh or like a bruise in weird ass areas. And I'm like, I know damn well I ain't do nothing that would make me, have these scars. But it was like it was backfiring. Like my spiritual ranking is so high, and I have you heard that? That's confirmation. My spiritual ranking is so high, and I've passed every test that was put before me to where now is the devil work for me, the Grand Reaper work for me. And when I say that, I'm saying the devil wanted me so bad to where God had to show the devil, like, listen, I play about a lot of things, but by this one, I do not fucking play about. Don't play with me off limits. You can have any one of these motherfuckers out here who don't believe in me. But for the ones that believe in me, my children, you have no access to. The devil cannot access you if you are a high vibrating frequency. If you are an earth angel, if you are a star seed, the devil cannot get you. It has no permission to do anything to you. You have to be vibrating on a low frequency. You have to be of, you know, on a energy where it can tamper with you in order to manipulate you and get you to fall victim and fail any type of test that the devil wants you to fail. But baby, when you pass some tests, the devil is out. The devil is off limits from you. You feel me? So the gatekeeper is like the entity that controls who enters and exits the gates of eternal life, right? So when I say they work for me, meaning if you try to bring harm to me, if you do anything to me that cause or inflicts pain on me, and I don't do anything to you, and I have a heart of gold, guess what? By default, you're signing your death certificate because I've already stood in the pain. I did the work. So for you to think that you have more power than God to want to take somebody's life, you're basically saying you're above God, the Most High, and that's impossible. And what made me come to these conclusions is because today I saw this word on this truck. It said Cypress 222. Y'all know 222, my motherfucking number. Y'all know 222 my number. Don't play with me. So it caught my attention. And so Cypress means everlasting life. And I was just like, wow. And the cypress tree is used in rituals with the dead, but it symbolizes eternal life, right? So that's how I knew I have a purpose. And I'm also going to share with y'all, I got permission from one of my subscribers. She um shared some information with me, and it just like it made my day. So she said, "Hey, sometimes I watch your other videos too. You don't have to thank me, though, to be honest. Seeing you talk about your journey was just more confirmation for me that I need to go ahead and talk about my journey too. So I guess in a way, I should be thanking you because honestly, I feel like if all of us who have had these experiences and stuff, whatever they may be, just sat down and told our story, just how we got to where we are and things of that nature for the world to see, then we all have a better understanding of each other." And so I was like, I said, "Oh my gosh, I almost just cried. Like, thank you. That means so much to me. It's like I know I'm not the only one out here that feels the way that I do, and I felt alone for a long time. So to let other people know we are not alone just gives me chills of confirmation that I'm helping others. I agree, and I'm so happy to know that it helped you. Thank you for sharing that with me." That was the video that I posted about how did I get here about being spiritual? She was like, yeah, it really do be feeling like we out here alone, especially coming from a Christian background and having people try to demonize stuff just because they are afraid or don't understand it. That's one of the reasons why I stay to myself, because I be feeling like I'm wasting my breath a lot of the time, or people just going to think that I'm crazy. She sent me that on my birthday, the same day that the lights flickered in the bathroom when I got in the shower. I said, Spirit, come through with the synchronicities, baby. And that's just that on that. That's the message for today. I love y'all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.